guys, MACLEOD25.
192.34.
With episode 43 Ranger Review. Today we have the Super Legends White Ranger and Gold Zero Ranger. We have the White Ranger and Gold Zero Ranger from the Jungle Fury Wave 2 line, which is the fall toy line when Jungle Fury was still air. We have the corresponding chase figures, the White Ranger and the Gold Zero Ranger. Now, they look really nice. They are like the same size as the Super Legends Green Ranger and Gold Zed. The only difference is that these figures are a bit different. What I mean is that there are two different ways you can tell. One, as you guys can see, my White Ranger right here, the legs are pretty kind of tight, almost. But when you look at my Gold, he is really loose. And a lot of the figures during that time, they were really loose. You could have a loose White Ranger, a loose Gold Ranger. You couldn't tell by the package, but when you open it and you try to wiggle it a lot, it'll either be stiff or really loose. I had to go through two waves just to find a really nice gold and white. But yeah, you can tell it's really loose. Alright, so now we have the White Ranger. Looks really nice detail for him. But since without a shield, he actually looks like a regular Power Ranger.
Yeah, I'm surprised they added it.
With the gold diamonds. You know, posability, same thing. Arms, legs, joints, head. The whole 9 yards for the same thing as the other Super Legends. Now, of course, when he has a shield, it's a really nice looking shield. This time, it's not a slip-on shield like the Green Ranger. It's actually a clip-on shield.
Like the old,
like the original
8-inch Green Ranger figure.
And the Automorphin figures back in the days. But these, at least, can hold pretty tight compared to the original versions. Because the original versions was only the two pegs on the top, and that was it. This time, there's actually more pegs on the back to actually have it. So it's actually more tighter now. But now you restrict a little bit of arm movement on the top because of that. But it's still not bad. I mean, it's still nice. And of course, he has Saba. Now, at least Saba is pretty good, nicely detailed. I mean, you know, nothing wrong with it. You can store it, or you can make him hold it, which you can always do like the other Rangers. You can pose with him. It's really nice. Actually, the Saba sword is actually a really nice inch. Is a good diameter. It's not too big, it's not too small for a Ranger like this size. So
it has a lot more detail compared to the original 4-inch one.
The 4-inch one was it wasn't even fun. But this is actually a nicely detailed one. You know, hopefully, we were hoping that we would get more of these, but apparently we didn't. But you know, the White Ranger, like the 2010 one, he has both up and down, so you can hold Saba like this as well. So you know, it's really nice to see that. But if you guys want, you can always store it like this. And there's your White Ranger. Alright, so now we have the Gold Ranger. Now, without the shield, the Gold Ranger looks like a Zero Ranger now. Same articulation as the others. But now we have the ball joints. Instead of the original joints we have with Lord Zed and Green Ranger, these are all ball joints. That's why he's so loose. Now, the only bad part about the Gold Ranger is that he has no holder for his staff.
Yes, unfortunately.
Now, just like the Super Legends, we had Green Ranger that had a holder, the White Ranger has a holder. Zed never had a holder for his staff, and neither did Gold. But Gold Ranger never had a staff to begin with, but it would have been nice if they had like maybe something behind or somewhere to store it, because these things can get lost really easily too. The staff is actually a nicely detailed staff. The Gold Zeo staff is really nicely detailed. I really like how the detail looks. I know that on Ranger, but a few people have been customizing these back in the days, and I gotta say they look pretty amazing. Now, just like the White Ranger with this shield, he has the clip-ons too. Now, there's another con to the whole Super Legends Wave 2 line. The shields on Gold and White, some of them are really loose. So as you guys can see, mine, it doesn't really close all the way tight. Unlike the White Rangers, it's closed almost all tight. Some of the shields had, I don't know what Bandai did, but some of the shields were not, I guess, proportional or something, because a lot of them a few of them were pretty loose. My friend had his Zero Ranger, his was tight, but his White Ranger was loose. Like the others, he holds his staff pretty nice. I mean, you know, it's not as bad as you think it is, but it's actually pretty cool. I was hoping that we would get more of these figurines because they actually are really nice looking ones, just like Green and Zed. But they did release later waves, but we discontinued those waves, so So, I mean, in perspective, these are nice figures to have. I actually like them myself. That's why I have a set myself. I will say that they are pretty cheap. Gold Ranger himself is pretty cheap. You can get them for like less than $20, but White Ranger is so-so. I mean, you know, people go crazy for Tommy, but I'm like, it's alright. Also, on another note, there's also a little kind of, I guess, supposed to be his symbol on the holder, but they didn't paint it. But you know, these are actually nice figures. I do recommend you guys get them now, but you know, White Ranger, it's a little bit costly, but Gold Ranger won't be, so pick it up if you guys can. So yeah, join us next time for the Power Ranger Samurai review, which is the Samurai Megazord and the week of Power Ranger Samurai premiere. So come subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Also, another fact that this week is the starting week of Chinese New Year, so for all you Asians out there, 恭喜發財, 身體健康, and you know, we'll see you next week. Alright, in translation, it means Happy Chinese New Year and good luck.